Welcome to your reading, loves. I am Laurel, Elder of the Silver Swords. So very nice to have you here. In a land where the mist of dreams meets the bedrock of reality, your story begins not with a crown, but with a shield. For a long time, you walked the shoreline of your life, listening to the silver-tongued melodies of the Knight of Cups reversed. He offered you chalices filled with illusions, promises of love and success that never quite solidified. But the wind changed. You realized that while you were drinking his wine, your own garden was being trampled. You drove your staff into the earth, the Seven of Wands. You stopped listening to the song and started guarding the gate. You decided that your peace was no longer for sale. This was the moment you stopped being a seeker of affection and became a protector of self. Once the gate was guarded, you looked at the person standing beside you. It was the Two of Cups, a beautiful, familiar reflection. It was comfortable. It was home. But as you looked past them, you saw the mountains glowing in the moonlight. You realized that this connection, as sweet as it was, had become a golden cage. In a move that whispered of both tragedy and triumph, you set your cup down. This is your Eight of Cups moment. While the world watched in surprise, wondering why you would leave perfection, you turned your back on the valley. You chose the cold, thin air of the heights because you knew that staying meant shrinking. You didn't walk away in anger. You walked away in destiny. As you climbed, you entered a hidden temple where the scales of justice hung suspended in shafts of light. Here, the universe was auditing your life. Because you had the courage to leave the illusion and the comfort, the scales tipped in your favor. The temple floor opened to reveal the 10 of Pentacles, not just gold coins, but a sprawling estate of ancient trees, stone walls, and a lineage of security. You discovered that by doing the hard thing, justice, you had unlocked the eternal thing, legacy. You weren't just winning a game, you were founding a dynasty. Finally, you reached the throne room. For years you had been the juggler, the Two of Pentacles, running from task to task, keeping the balls in the air, surviving on agility and caffeine. But the throne was heavy, solid, and made of gold. The dilemma was simple. To sit on the throne, you had to empty your hands. You had to stop juggling. You took a deep breath, let the options fall to the floor, and sat. As you did, the cloak of the King of Pentacles fell across your shoulders. The frantic energy of the juggler vanished, replaced by the silent, rhythmic pulse of the earth. You realized you were no longer managing a life, you were ruling a kingdom. The moral of this story is that sovereignty is the reward for emotional honesty. It teaches that a life built on pleasant illusions will always feel unstable, while a life built on difficult truths eventually becomes an unshakable empire. Your boundaries aren't walls that keep people out. They are the foundations that keep your temple standing. Until you can say no to what is beneath you, you will never have the space to say yes to what is meant for you. Sometimes the person or situation that loves you is also the one keeping you small. Spiritual maturity is the ability to walk away from a good thing to make room for the great thing. You must be willing to be misunderstood by those in the valley to reach the peak of the mountain. The hidden presence of justice and the 10 of Pentacles reveals that character is the ultimate investment. The shortcuts and juggling might help you survive the day, but only radical fairness, justice, builds a legacy. 10 of Pentacles. When you align your private actions with your public values, the universe stops testing you and starts investing in you. You cannot rule while you are running. To move from the hustle to the empire, you must trade the adrenaline of having options for the weight of having a purpose. Mastery isn't about doing more. It's about being so centered that the world moves around you. Do not mistake the current silence for emptiness. The 8 of Cups journey is often a quiet one, and the 7 of Wands defense can be exhausting. But remember, you are clearing the brush to reveal the marble. Every time you say no to a mediocre emotional offer, you are physically building the throne of the King of Pentacles. Your discipline is not a punishment. It is your architect's pen. Look back at this moment with immense gratitude. You are the 10 of Pentacles legacy, because the version of you today was brave enough to be the one who left the 2 of Cups valley. You are stable because you chose justice over convenience. Your wealth, both of spirit and of pocket, is the direct harvest of the integrity you are practicing right now. The dilemma of the 2 of Pentacles will eventually fade into a rhythmic, effortless pulse. You will find that you no longer need to balance your life, because your life is built on a singular, unshakable truth. This is the maturity of absolute presence. So as you and your future self continue this journey, remember the quiet, cold morning you chose the mountain over the valley. At the time, it felt like a loss. Leaving the 2 of Cups behind felt like leaving a piece of your heart in the lowlands. But look at you now. That space you cleared was exactly what you needed to plant the seeds of the 10 of Pentacles. You realized that the 7 of Wands was never about being difficult or defensive. It was the essential training for your current authority. You learned to stand your ground when you had nothing but your staff. Now that you have the kingdom, your boundaries are natural and effortless. You see now that the hidden period was the universe's way of balancing the scales. Every time you chose justice over a quick fix, you were layering the stone of your foundation. Your current security isn't luck. It is a mathematical certainty born of your past integrity. Remember when you finally stopped the frantic juggling of the 2 of Pentacles. You learned that a king doesn't have to be busy to be powerful. Your greatest strength is now your presence, your stability, and the shade you provide for those who live within your walls. Do not forget the 8 of Cups trek. It taught you that you are your own best company and your own highest prize. The dilemma is gone because you finally committed to one great thing instead of 100 small distractions. You are no longer the one asking the stars for a sign. You are the one the stars are watching to see what you will build next. So walk on. You are finally at home in your life. You have the resources to be generous, the strength to be kind, and the wisdom to be still. You have arrived.